We have some news on Gilly at the end of the video. Thought we'd better start on that big list of MOT failures, and most of it was relatively small. Well, that's probably the easiest thing done. Over a weekend we ticked off all the stuff remaining on the list apart from the last one, and that couldn't be that expensive, could it? £600?
To get over the shock of the cost it's going to be for the welding, I suggested we just get on with the conversion, starting with the window.
As you can see, I started from in the van and then transferred those holes to the outside so that it gave me lines to cut through. I used both a jigsaw and a small grinder as well as a hole saw. Once I'd actually tied up all the edges with a flap disc, it actually made a really nice job, but of course I need to prime this yet so it doesn't rust. It's nice and smooth. And here I am putting the primer on. Now this actually we had to buy separately from the kit, but this I think was about a 10mm section of this particular piping. Looking nice and neat with it all done around. Next for the window. So you had to offer it up to mark where you exactly need to put the primer on the glass, and then you apply the mastic bonding agent all the way around again on the primer, but in outside of the trim. Takes a bit of practice. And then Jane's holding a couple of spacers under there just so we can maintain the space all the way around, and then we've put on masking tape to hold it in for 24 hours. Unfortunately we had a bit of overspill with the mastic that Jane's trying to clean off. So this is from Van Pimps, and it is so it's flush on the outside, and then once you've got your nice window open, which is like quite big,
Yeah.
having been used to the T5 one, there's also
A cool fly screen.
yeah. So next we started to make the furniture for inside. So this we scribed, and this is going to be the size of the shower cubicle. And you can see it just about fits. So Jane's mum and dad actually had these old scaffold planks that belonged to her granddad laying undercover on the side of the house. So we wanted to make the kitchen worktop out of these, and it's quite a task actually. So first we wanted to trim down the edges to make them nice and straight. Next we planed them just to see if there's any nails in them, and make sure we hit them with the plane and not the thicknesser that comes next. This is quite a lot of fun actually using this. So this is the original timber, and I'm planing this, or we're planing this with a plane just to make sure there's no nails in it, which gives us this, which is, you know, it's much better, but the main purpose of this is to see there's no nails in it. We've obviously still got cracks, which we're going to have in the end, and this is once it's been through a thicknesser, which there is still little bits of rot in here, but we'll have to put some resin on it maybe just to seal it. But you know, we can then get to something that's much more acceptable as a kitchen worktop. All these edges aren't particularly perfect, but it is kind of rustic, and that's fine. So if I can, using this D4 adhesive, which should dry pretty quickly, and I'm strapping them to these trestles. So here I am gluing both edges of the boards and I've strapped them together with the ratchet straps and left them for 24 hours just to go off. here's Jane the next day sanding them lightly with a 120 grit sandpaper before she uses Danish oil to give them a coat. This is the first of 3 coats that Jane did. And you can see it really brings out the grain in the timber. Please remember to like and subscribe, because once we've actually built the van, we'll be heading off to Scotland for the NC 500 in September. You can see that we've now moved along quite a lot. This is Jane now cladding the side of the shower cubicle with some of the tongue and groove boarding that we had and we took off the van. And she's made an amazing job of this. Look how well she does with this. Perfect. So the shower cubicle is made of 12mm ply, and there's CLS, which is 38mm cut on its edge to support the edges, give it a little bit more strength. That's saying clad with timber, as you've seen. So we've built these today. Jane's put all the cladding on here. She's cut and done this. I built these. We've also put some ply in here. Jane, in fact, we've both cladded this actually. She started and I finished it off. We still need to do a bit up here. I've cut this bit in. I don't know what we'll do with this gap yet, but we'll work that out. If you've got any ideas, let me know. And finally, an update for Gilly. She's been lucky enough to find a new family and is now headed off to Spain for a great adventure around Europe. I'll put their Instagram link if you want to follow their journey here. This now allows us enough money to go and get the welding done for the MOT. Please let us know where you think a first place to test out Billy would be. Also remember to like and subscribe for more videos like this.